of a stream than usual. If it doesn't end up working out, we'll pivot back to playing Ghost Simulator. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to do something a little bit different, not just playing games or whatever. So yeah, I think the title of the video or live stream probably gives away pretty much what we're doing. But yeah, I'll probably have to explain it as people come along. We'll see how it works. Again, if this doesn't end up being super popular, feel free to riot in the live chat, and we'll swap over to playing Ghost Simulator for the last part of the Christmas event. Since there is a bit of work I do want to do on that event, getting some mythicals, getting more keys, stuff like that, that I haven't really done yet. So we'll see how that works. Anyways, let me open up, make sure people are... Live stream is working. Looks like live stream is working. Audio is good. I should have probably found some music to play in the background. Well, yeah, I haven't really been streaming much recently. But I kind of wanted to start it up this year with the start of the new year. We'll see how that works. I realize like streaming actually isn't that much of a commitment as I think usually. Like Monday comes around, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to stream. But it's not even that difficult. Anyways, yeah, right now we are in a base world. I put in a few parts just for, a template for the, thumbnail. Just going to drag those under so we don't actually have to look at them. They aren't even anchored, which is the funny thing. Boom. But yeah. Because otherwise they'll just kind of go flying everywhere, but I'm not too worried about them now. But yeah, the only thing I've done so far in this world was set up some sort of data save just in case I need to use it, because I don't want to be wrestling with this anyways. All the code on this is going to be custom myself, so, none of this is what, like, Ghost Simulator or any other games I work on look like. As people would probably know if they understand what I'm supposed to code in the other ones, where it's actually a lot less spaghetti than this is. But yeah. Will we get a new game? This is more of just going to be fun stuff. I don't think it's going to end up being a usable game. But anyways, first request is a fish tank with a fish and a sign next to it. So yeah. Again, this is going to be sort of a fun thing, so if you guys have questions or want to interact, I'll probably be answering them. So, if you want to learn how Studio works or whatever, feel free to ask, and I will probably end up answering questions on, like, how to actually work in Studio. Anyways, the first thing to do, I am going to be grabbing some stuff to make the thing. I'm not good at modeling. That is not my forte. So this is going to look like a horrible fish tank. Control, I believe, 8. There we go. Now let's make it bigger. We don't need that. We are going to group this as a model. So for anyone wondering, I did Control G to group it as a model. You can also just kind of add a model through the plus thing here. You have a lot of options. But that's just to keep all this part together. And this is just for me to stay organized. But yeah. Anyways, as you guys can probably tell, I am really bad at modeling. Anyways, we're going to do this. We're going to do Control Alt Scale. Is that a good fishbowl? That looks like a good fishbowl. We're gonna drop that in there. All right, and then the thing about here is we start to edit the properties of it. Oh, why can't you guys see the Oh, okay, that's why. Let me just, there we go. Now you guys can see everything I'm doing. But anyways, right now, I'm editing properties. I'm going to set just a transparency to like 0.3 and then make it glass instead. So we're going to select the material glass. Actually, 0.3 might be a little bit overkill. We'll get the water in first. So we'll duplicate this, Control D. You can also right click and click duplicate. We'll name this to water. And then we'll Control Alt shrink it. Actually, let's adjust this a little bit. Boom. And then I think we want this to be fully opaque just so it's visible through the transparent glass. Or do we just not do transparent? No, okay, that's what we do. Glass has some weird properties with transparency, so I'm trying to avoid making it super weird, but I think we're going to have to swap over to a plastic. And then we'll make this slightly bluish, and then we'll make the water like a dark blue. Alright, and then the water will stick with glass. We'll make it like... How does that look? Ugh. Alright, let's see, and then we'll make this one nice dark blue. Again, modeling is not my forte. We'll actually drop that water transparency just a little bit so that any fish inside. Make this a stone. I like how we're not even like that looks horrible. Wood better. Okay, that might look decent with like, there we go. Okay, make it a gacha game. Yeah, no, I mean, we can make it a gacha game if you guys want me to add loot crates to the game. We'll see how quickly that ends up spiraling. But yeah, okay, and then it needs to have a fish in it. Let's see how good of a fish we can make. Let's start with a... How do I want to make this fish? I think what I want to do is just make it out of wedges. This is going to be a pretty horrible looking fish. I apologize in advance. Make a realistic atom with orbitals and nucleus and all the right ratios. Also high. Yeah, no, I'm not good at modeling, guys. This is what my models end up looking like. We're just doing this so that we have a base place. I'll probably end up doing something else soon. Okay, how do I make a fish? Duplicate, rotate. Wow, I managed to rotate that over the amount I wanted to. Okay, okay, yeah, that's looking good. Duplicate. Boom. Move. And then I think I want to just duplicate both those, move it out to there, and then scale each of these like this. And then, and boom, we have a fish. Let's group that as a model, call it a fish. And then one more thing I have to add to this, and that is obviously an eye. So yeah, you can click Alt. So right now it's selecting the entire model. If you hold Alt, you'll be able to select an individual part on it. I don't know how much of you guys actually care about that, but it is super useful when you're working in a thing. Anyways, I want to turn this into a... Here, it's from a shape from a block to be a cylinder. And then I want to position it in the middle, move it down, and I'm giving him eyes if you guys can't tell. Scale it. Boop. we'll turn off, or we'll turn this down to 8.1 so I can get it flush. Or closer to flush. And then we'll make this all orange, and then we'll make that black. And all of a sudden, voila, we have Mr. Fishy. Yeah, again, I am not a modeler, so don't expect anything I create to actually look good. You can't even see that fish in there, or you can barely see it. I think that means that we can just make this more transparent. 0.7. Boom. All right, what did you want to name it? Okay. I might code the probability of electrons in the... Oh my goodness, yeah. That'd be fun. Anyways, now we have a fish. What was his name supposed to be? Blip the fish. All right. For that, let's drop in another part. We'll rotate this so that it's nice and here. This is getting annoying. Go back to 2.5. And then we'll scale it up a bit, down a bit, and then boop, boop, boop. All right, and then here we can add a, is it billboard? No, we can add a screen or surface GUI. We'll set its face. It looks like its face is already correct. But you can set its face using this property. It's already set correctly. And then inside of that, we'll add a text label. And as you can see now, we have a label here. And then inside this label, we'll change the size to be 1, 1. Basically, this will make it so it fits the entire container. And then we'll make it so it's text scaled so that the text fills up the space. And then we can name the fish whatever we want using this label. So blip the fish. There we go. And there we go. That's the first part of the game. So now we have this. We can probably make the background of this transparent so we don't have to worry about that, and we can instead just recolor this. But yeah, there we go. Add day-night cycle, but make it obnoxiously fast. I haven't actually worked with day-night cycle, but I think it's pretty easy. If I remember correctly, it's in lighting here. We have clock time, and this can just get... Yeah, okay. So I think what I want to do... We'll set it back to 14. Is go ahead and drop into server script storage. Actually, I don't know why this is in server storage. But drop in our first script. Now we're going to make the day-night cycle. This is probably not how you want to code it, but this is how we're coding it. So we'll call it the script this, and then basically what we want to do is, well, we have two options. One of them is a little bit better than the other, but one of them is a little bit simpler, so we'll do the simpler one for now. So we're going to make a loop. This is just basically going to loop forever since it's while true. So the while creates a loop, and then it checks this every time it runs to see if it should run again. If this is false, it'll end up not running. So you could have a variable like while death count is less than like 2 or whatever, it continues to loop or stuff like that. But since we want this to always happen, we'll just do it here. First thing we want to do is figure out how long has elapsed since the last time. So we'll do local tick time is equal to task dot wait, which will basically just wait for the next frame. Instead of having this run infinitely, you want to have a little bit of a wait in every single time you do a loop. Anytime you want to do a loop forever, so you don't end up just running that loop entirely during one frame. Especially when you want to do stuff every frame, like adjust the day-night cycle. And then we want to actually increment it. So what we're actually going to do is add a local, a constant variable that will let us change how fast the daylight cycle is. For right now, we'll just set it equal to 1. But this will make editing it easier later. And then we'll adjust. So we're looking at lighting right now, which we want to adjust the clock time. As you guys were seeing earlier, every time I change this, it makes the day go around and vice versa. So what I want to do is find a lighting in the script. So what we can do is do game. This will give us the overarching game. So it's basically the parent of everything here. And then we can adjust anything else. So we have workspace, which you can see right here. But we can also do lighting, which is what we have right here. And then we can do the dot clock time, as you can see here highlighted. Clock time. And then what we want to do is just add the tick time, so the amount since the last time it was update, times the speed. And now if we go ahead and jump into the game here, we should start to see this daylight cycle going. It's not super quick right now, but, you know. Also, you guys can probably see that the fish unfortunately had an incident where it just kind of completely died. But yeah. Here we go. We have the first code written, and all it does is make the sun move pretty quickly. Now, we could make this quicker if we wanted to. We could probably speed it up to be, you know, let's say we want the speed to be like 5. It'll be a lot quicker. I think first things first, we want to go here, select everything. So I'm basically control and using control to select multiple and then shift to select everything from the last one I selected. But we're going to go here and find the anchored property and set that to true so that the things don't just go flying every time we play. And then once you jump in now, the fish should be here, and then the day-night cycle should be going 5 times faster, which, you know, probably gets obnoxious really quickly. But yeah, now we have all that stuff done. It's not super quick that I'm worried about epilepsy yet, but yeah, probably should have that warning somewhere before I start. Have I ever tried D&D? I have not actually played D&D. It does sound somewhat fun. It's just I'm not a very social gamer, unfortunately. So I haven't really had people to do it with. Best way to grind gems in Ghost Simulator, Incinerator, or Ecto Converter. I'm only Ghost World with no Rift Gum or anything. I just need gems for Godlies right now. Doing a hard mode like challenge. My best suggestion for getting gems early game, like where you're at, is probably using the Ecto Token Converter. I feel like that is fairly good. Although I haven't really tried the Incinerator. If you have a lot of loot gum, that one might be worthwhile, but I have a feeling your items are better used for loot gum at this point. Also, say hi to Jazzy. She has come to give us some attention. But yeah, I'd try the I'd try the converters first. Ghost Drops is actually decent as well, I think. But yeah, just basically work on quests, work your way through, and then just sort of try stuff for like 5-10 minutes. Compare the amount you get one way versus another. It's a lot of trial and error, I think, for finding the most gems. That is the perfect speed in my opinion. But yeah, no. All right. Let's see. Make a ghost vacuum you. Okay. Vacuums are actually super complicated in Ghost Sim, and I'm glad I'm not the one programming them. Like, they're already programmed when I got the game, so kind of lucky on that. But we can make enemies. So let's make some enemies really quickly. Let's add that to the fish tank just so it kind of stays with it. And then drop that in the fish tank as well, just so that we can move this thing around without anything moving relative to it. So yeah, let's make some ghosts, I guess. I think the first thing I want to do is drop a cylinder in here, and then drop a sphere on top of it, and then scale, Control Alt, boom. If you guys don't think this is a ghost, Boom. 10 is a bit big. Let's do it like this, and then what happens if we'll group that, call that a ghost. Yeah, we'll see how this works. I'm just gonna make it chase you Pac-Man style, except it's not gonna worry about collision, because collision is difficult. Let's set the primary part of this to be the, not that one, that one. Set that to be the body. We'll set that to be the head. Both of these, I think we want to pivot over to smooth plastic and then make it actually like, what color do we want to make it? Just slightly blue, I think. Boom. And then, can I bump that? Ooh, we can. All right. Boom, that's a ghost. Actually, we'll add eyes to it just really quick. Actually, is everything here anchored? Okay. Everything there is now anchored. Yeah, okay. So this is where we started getting into how we want it to do. I'm going to make it chase the player. The question is always, how do we make it chase the player? I think the first thing, I think we're just going to do another script here. Ghost chase. The first thing that we need to do is actually reference the ghost itself. So this, we're going to define a new variable in here. Local ghost is equal to game.workspace. So basically game and then dot whatever you want to access. And since we want to access the ghost in here, we'll do game.workspace dot ghost. And this is basically just referencing this object in the world. And then I think what I want to do, since I kind of want this to support multiple players, is we'll make it choose a random player like every like 10 seconds or whatever, and then just chase that player. So I think the way we want to do this is just making a first while true loop. And then here we're going to select a player, which does actually get a little bit complicated. So what we want to do is actually use our first service. So in game, we can also get services for like stuff. This has your data store service, which is how you store permanent data. It has players, which is what we want to use. But it also has a lot of other stuff. You can look through this if you wish, but there's so much stuff here that allows you to actually help build games. The best ones like tween service and stuff like that. But yeah, basically we want to get a random player. Local player is equal to, for this we'll do players get players, which returns a list of however many players are in the server. And then we're going to select a random one from this. Now, this can cause a few issues the way I'm coding it right now. We'll cover that later. Right now, I'm not too worried about that. But we want to select a random one in here. So what I want to do is just map.random, and then I just realized I can't do it this way. I have to do players in server is equal to this, which is still the array that we're getting. But it allows me to select anywhere from the first element in the array all the way to the last element. So if you use hashtag, you can actually get the count of how many things are in an array. So it'll select one of the random players in that server, and then it'll select the local start tick is equal to, we'll just do tick, and then while tick is less than start tick plus 10, it'll do a task dot wait, and then it'll move a little bit time taken is equal to task.wait. And then I'll move a little bit in that direction. Again, we'll add a local speed constant, basically just to make sure we want to know how fast it's moving. And then basically what we want to do is actually just pivot it towards the player, which is a bit more complicated than I thought it would be. But we can do ghost pivot to, well, we want to start with its position, ghost get pivot. And then what we want to do is add a little bit of the direction of the player. So we'll go ahead and just actually what we want to do. What we want to do first is make sure that the player character exists so there isn't any errors. This is mainly just so it starts off the first time. If not player.character, then continue. Which basically just will skip that frame, the rest of this code in the while loop. Plus player.character. How do I do this again? Dot player.character get pivot dot position minus ghost get pivot dot position. Okay, I believe that is reasonable. Now there's a large chance that this just crashes. Yeah, okay. So now, oh, okay, never mind. That's some other crash. Invalid argument to number 2 to random. Interval is empty. Okay. All right, so that way we'll just sort of, if the amount of the players in server is less than or equal to 0, or I guess we can just do less than 1, then task.wait 1 continue end. Basically, that'll just skip the current execution until if there's no players found. Just basically making it. So yeah, now we have a ghost that is constantly chasing us. It's a little bit fast, but yeah, it does technically work. You know. Yeah. I think. Oh, we don't ever do the time taken or whatever. So what we can do is multiply this by the time taken so that it only moves a certain amount each tick, and then we obviously want to move it by the speed, which apparently I missed a capital D on it. All right, what was some other ideas? Rolling, make it move rolling. That would actually would that be that difficult? Interesting. Binary ghost? Oh, yeah. This is just a binary ghost. That's like one of the simplest ghosts we have in Ghost Sim. Add some scenery about it and make some okay terrain. First, all right, how does this ghost move now? All right, so the ghost moves a lot slower now since it is actually based on its speed. It's a bit weird. I should probably be doing dot unit because right now, once it gets to me or whatever, it'll just kind of stop moving. This does mean we can infinitely fly up. And the further away we get from it, the faster it moves. But yeah, so now we have a ghost chasing us. It's probably not the best way to move stuff around, but it does work. Yeah, there you go. Add some scenery around the base plate. Oh, yeah. I thought I was... Yeah, I know some quests, like I know collect items quests and some other quests like that do get a little bit confusing on... I wanted to move this down a little bit. so that was back flush with the floor. That looks correct. Alright, so now we have a ghost that follows you, a fishbowl. Let's get some scenery in here. Now, I am, as I said before, I do kind of... I'm kind of terrible at modeling stuff, so this will probably end up looking pretty trash. But what I wanted to do was find the terrain editor. Oh, that's one of the... Okay, in views, you have a whole lot of random stuff that you can use to actually edit better. Here, what we're looking for is the terrain editor, but you have some other stuff like Toolbox, which I don't recommend using, but has some random cool stuff that you can grab for free. It's a bit weird. I would not recommend using the Toolbox because there can be some stuff like viruses, Roblox viruses. They aren't super harmful, I don't think. And some other stuff in here. But yeah, you can do a lot of stuff from the view. You can see, you know, how collision stuff looks. A few other stuff, grid stuff, grid material. But the main thing we are interested in right now is editing, and I want to, can I, yeah, okay. I don't know what we're looking for. Okay, I think what we want to do is draw, and then is this is grass. So let's make this bigger and give us some terrain around the outside. So I'm just going to paint it like this. Boom. That looks, I think that looks reasonable for the outside. We'll add a few rocks here and there. We're not going to get... Ooh, that's magma. But yeah, we'll just drop a few things here and there. Maybe get a little bit more creative in some of these spots. Wow, that looks horrible. Boom, boom, boom. Then I wanted to do that, and then that, just so that's climbable. All right, this is like some of the worst terrain you'll ever see in a game, but whatever. I mean, there you go. We should probably... Ooh, can we... Oh, we can smooth. Let's just smooth all this really quick. Aggressively smooth it. Yeah, aggressively smooth is the way to go. Alright, now it looks, I have no idea how expensive this is for, like, computational stuff. So, I don't recommend making your terrain like this. It's probably super expensive for Roblox to actually render all of this. But, yeah. What am I making? Right now, we have a ghost that chases you, Blip the fish, and some terrain around the outside. Oh, and a day-night cycle that constantly rotates. I don't know what I'm making right now. I'm kind of just doing whatever. If you guys have questions on how to like program stuff, you guys are free to ask. But yeah, I'm tempted to just call this good, but I feel like I should do least a little bit more. Actually, what if we... Whoa. Okay, let's not do bricks. Bricks look bad. Let's do this for pathing. There you go. Yeah, we'll call that good, I think. Add a lion that kills you if you touch it. All right. Cool. We'll have a ghost. Or do you want the lion to move? Do you want it to chase the player, or do you want it to just be static? Because those are two different things. But yeah, let's make a lion. This is going to be a pretty bad looking lion. I apologize in advance. Like with a fish, I can pretend to know what I'm doing because it's a very simple shape. With a lion, it's going to look horrendous. Which is why like ghosts, fish, and stuff are a lot easier to like start off with. Just their simpler shapes. Anyways, we're going to grab I think like 7 cylinders. We're going to group it into a lion. Chase the player. Okay. Make a purple sentient. Make a parkour course somewhere leading to the sky. Okay. So yeah, let's do that. Let's start with the lion, and then I'm going to do the parkour course, and then probably the base plate switching colors. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, because I'm editing the line. All right. So this is where you guys start to laugh at how bad the lion looks, but then you guys watch it actually work and you're like, okay, wait, that's actually kind of cool. Anyways, we're going to name these all legs so I know what they're all called. We're going to select all of them and then rename them to legs. You guys are not ready for this. We are going to make the lion a... All right, there we go. Boom. It's going to be a block. Okay, and then I think we just go a little bit more in every direction to give it some stuff, and then we'll give it a head. So that's the body, and then we need one more part. Get over here. So now the question is, do I make it a square-shaped head like this? Or do I go for a yeah, this looks like a sheep right now. Let me see what it looks like if I go to a ball. Okay, you know what we could do? Duplicate this, turn this into a cylinder. Alt. No, not Alt. Control. No. Yeah, Control. And then I wanted to do Control, boop. Control, boop. And then scale this down to like 0.05. And then, boom. And all of a sudden, or let's do a little bit of a rotation here. Move it. All of a sudden, you can tell that's a lion. I think I should actually scale up the head just a little bit. 0.5. Boom. Main. Boom. There we go. We'll color it a little bit. Legs, you guys can be orange. You are going to be a yellowish. Head is going to be more of that oranger color. And then this, I believe, can just be that more yellow color. Okay. There you go. Perfect lighting. Lighting is magnificent. Yes. Code it so that if you press Alt F4, it closes Roblox. Actually, I already did that. That was like that was one of the setup stuff I did, along with the data save stuff. I set it up before, so if you click at Alt F4, it actually closes Roblox. Pre-coded, I already knew someone was going to ask that one. I'm not, you guys can test it out when you guys play the game, if you guys end up playing the game. Anyways, Lion, we are going to need to go anchor all of this. Anchored, we're going to make the main part of it the body. That was the wrong body. This is why naming stuff is actually important, so that you can select what you want when you want to. Anyways, and then for this, we're going to go ahead and just copy this. This is probably bad design, but we're going to call this Lion Chase. And then we're going to go ahead and add something here. Instead, this will be the lion. And then since we probably want this to pivot, since we can't just get away with just moving it, we're going to actually go ahead and add a rotation here. So instead, we're going to do a cframe.new. Basically, here we're going to do a cframe.new to or cframe.lookat so that we can position it. So this is our position. And then we're going to actually go ahead and look at the player. For anyone wondering what's going on, I don't know yet. But basically, we're taking this. This is a C-frame that the pivots to. And instead of just placing it to this position, or putting it to this position and leaving it in the same rotation, we're going to make it so that it looks at the player.character get pivot dot position. Basically what this does is it takes two things. The first one is the position that we want it at, which is basically we're using the same one as before, which I should instead do dot unit here, just so that it moves at a constant speed regardless of where it is. And then we're going to chuck this back into the pivot too. Now this is super ugly. I'd probably try to explain it better, but since we're kind of copy and pasting from the ghost, I'm just trying to make it quick. Anyways, and then the last thing that we need to do is make it. Okay, as you guys can see, the lion is currently looking at us. The issue though right now is, as you can see, its rotation, it moves super slowly and its rotation is kind of wrong. So what we want to actually do is rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going to go ahead and just add a rotation at the end of all of this times cframe.angles 0 math.pi over 2 0, and then we're going to increase the speed of this lion from 1 to 5, just so it moves a little bit quicker. And now let's go ahead see how this looks. And now we have a lion chasing us. It's floating exactly like the ghost. It doesn't yet kill us if we touch it, but, well, not immediately, but it does push us around a lot. As you can see, the ghost is probably a little bit faster just because it doesn't have that dot unit to normalize its speed, whereas the lion is just kind of that constant speed. But yeah, now let's make it so that if it touches us, we die. Okay, we want, we need to make this the lion kill us first. So what we're going to do is actually add a touch detection. So so what we're going to do is reference the lion here. We're going to rename this to lion. I like how we have the ghost chase and the lion chase in the wrong spot, which is super easy. We rename this one to lion chase and rename this one to ghost chase. Anyways, in lion chase, what we're going to do is, first off, rename all of these variables to lion, just so that it doesn't get super confusing why we have lions called ghost. And then lion dot body dot touched. So this will be an event every time that something touches the body, something new. I think this ignores it. So what we'll connect, and then we'll go ahead and get that part. So this is the part that it touched with. It fires this function. And so this part, we'll check if this part dot we'll check if this part dot parent is a player. So player is equal to players dot get player from character, I think. And then we'll do part dot parent. So basically, if this is a child of our player's character, it'll go ahead and get the player from that. But sometimes this won't be, like if it touches the train or something, you guys can probably see why that wouldn't be considered a player. And so this player can be nil. So if not player, so if there is not a player that we find, then we just want to exit. But if there is a player, then we want to do player dot player dot character dot I haven't worked with health before, so player dot character find first child of class humanoid. So everything in a player is controlled by a humanoid inside of it, and basically that controls your health. So we can do, first we want to make sure there is a humanoid, because if you're like dead or something, there could be not a humanoid. And basically if there's not a humanoid, this code would break, so we just want to return and not do it. Otherwise, humanoid dot health is equal to -1. I believe that would instantly kill the player. And then we can go ahead and see if this works. And we have a lion, and if it... And look at that. I don't know if we have respawn automatically on. We do. But yeah. So yeah, now we have a lion. It's basically an immortal snail, but it's in a lion form. As you can see, it moves kind of slowly, and then we have the ghost that moves quite a bit faster. Anyways, someone wanted some parkour, I think. After the line, before the parkour. Okay, so you guys want the base plate done first. So we have this base plate. We're going to make a new script here. And I assume what you guys want to do is just have it change colors. Do you guys want this to be a smooth color transition or kind of a fast one? Because there's two different ways we could do this. Actually, I think for this one, we'll do something a little bit different. We'll chuck it under the base plate itself. So you don't need to put your scripts all in the same place. They can actually go pretty much anywhere. Right now, we've just been doing server scripts since that's been mainly what we've been working on. But you can actually put it underneath it, since this base plate changer, I think, is just... I think it's just going to be for the base plate. I'm not going to worry about making it optimal in there. But anyways, we'll first create a reference to the base plate. We haven't done this before, but you can do script. You can use script to reference itself. So basically this is using this place in the hierarchy. So before we do game, which is basically the parent of everything. But if we do script, we'll get itself. So we do script.parent, which is basically the thing right above it in the hierarchy. So I put it here, it would be that part. If I put it here, it's going to be the base plate. They'll reference that. And then to go ahead and change its color, I think the easiest way to do this would be to create a new RNG first, which will become important in just a second. But then we'll create another while loop, while true do, since we just want this to constantly be happening. And then I think the best way to do this is actually using tween service. So we're going to go ahead and explore tween service. Local tween service equals game get service tween service. So similar to how we got the player service, we got the tween service. And basically what this allows us to do is create tweens. This gets a little bit more complicated. So hopefully you guys will be able to bear with me. But basically what we want to do, this will basically smoothly change change the property of something. But since this has a target goal, we wouldn't be able to use it for like Ghost or the Lion Chase, since those you always want it to be dynamically following the player rather than just tweening to the player's position. But anyways, we want to select, first off, we want to select a random color. So to do this, we can do local color. This will be our goal color. And we just want to create a new one from RGB using 3 random numbers. I'm assuming this is how you guys want to do it rather than a rainbow. If you guys want a rainbow, you guys could code it so that selects each color in like a list or something, which we could show off later. But right now we can do this. And then for each of these colors, we need a red, a green, a blue number. And the way we want to do this is actually using this RNG. So we want to do RNG. It's being finicky because it's in something, but what you can do is just write it here and then do next number. And basically we just want to do 3 of these back to back. And this will just select a random color to change to. And then since we want to do it smoothly, we want to go over here and do tween info. Let's say we want to do it over 2 seconds, which I think is reasonable. We could, again, make a constant up here for like the time we want to take or even the tween info we want to take. But basically we want the property, the base plate property, which is called color here, to change smoothly. So we want to do, this is basically an array of properties that you want to set it to. So you can do color is equal to new color, and then you can just play that. And then because we have this in a loop, we want to do a task.wait so that this color can finish up before we start a new one. Probably ideally you'd actually not do a while true loop, but it's a little bit easier to explain than getting into how callbacks work and stuff like that right at the moment. But anyways, if we go ahead and play, assuming I forgot to do that. Assuming I didn't mess up the coding, the base plate should start changing. And as you can see right now, it's changed to black. It's changing. It's still at black. Interesting. Oh, that's right. So here I did from RGB. I should do .new instead because I'm just doing 0 to 1. That's right. But anyways, now we have a thing. It should just smoothly orientate every 2 seconds between a different color. So we basically have a disco plate. That bright pink was obnoxious. But yeah, there we go. We have a smoothly changing base plate. We still have that line that, you know, has fun chasing the player every couple seconds. And yeah, there we go. You could make this a better transition so it only does specific colors. You can make it a few other things, but I think for now this probably is what you guys are envisioning, where it just chooses a random color and changes. All right, now we want to do some parkour. Again, I am terrible at modeling, so you guys are not this is probably going to start being a pretty horrible parkour session. But I think we want to start it over here just so it has its own spot. Again, you'll be being chased by the lion every time you spawn, so hopefully that doesn't catch you. Let's give a decent base plate. Here we'll probably end up grouping this, instead of grouping it into a model like we've done with previous stuff. We'll go ahead and make this into an actual folder, just to basically keep everything together on this, so that instead of like filling up our thing with so many random parts, like base piece, like we have in here, we can just instead group it all into a folder, and then the folder can collapse, because I envision for this we're going to end up having a lot of pieces. And now for the obby itself, I think what we want to do is cylinders, and then just make little like lily pad stuff. So there's our first one, and then all these stuff need to be anchored, as I've probably seen. As you know, you guys have probably seen what happens when you don't anchor stuff already this stream. Anyways, we're going to be super uncreative with this. I think you can jump like this high, I think. Boom. This isn't going to be a super creative obby, but it will be an obby. You could have this be randomly generated too, but we aren't going to get into that. I don't know if this jump is possible. Actually, no, it probably is. You can jump a ridiculous distance in Roblox. Okay. I think this one's just a little bit too high. All right. How does everyone think about this as an obby? And then we'll copy this and move it up. Boom, boom, boom. And then we'll make this out of, I think, something just slightly transparent. I'm just trying to make it so that this doesn't completely... Yeah, okay. I'm going to turn off cast shadow on this so that it isn't completely blocking that. And then on top of this, I think you wanted to just have a block. So I heard a part block here. And then I'm just going to be lazy here and just make it so that it isn't anchored, so that you can go ahead and push it around. We'll even hover it a little bit so that you guys can see. And now if we go ahead and jump in, guys, I'm not going to be copy pasting anything from like GoSim. That isn't, I'm not allowed to do that contract wise. But yeah, no, don't want to show off go into there at all. Where's your base plate? It's currently here. I'm starting to notice that this is that jump is actually difficult. We could use the ghost to boost us up, but okay, I just had a minor all right, it's not that difficult. As you can see, we can kind of push this. Looks like we're a little bit laggy, like we're going through it, which I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, we can go push it off. I think something's lagging this already. Like we have 5 things. I don't know what could possibly be lagging it. It's likely the lion. But anyways, yeah. I think we're gonna go ahead and randomly color some of those parts. So like this one, this one, this one, this one. Just because it's kind of difficult to see, we're going to just color them red. This one, this one, this one. This one, blue, this one, this one, this one, this one can be a purple, and then this one and this one can be green. All right, just so that it's easier to see where they are in relation to the base plate. I noticed that was a little bit tricky, and then this one, we'll make it nice, cool, I don't know. There we go. That color looks cool. Okay, so, if we wanted to change this, instead of here having a color that's selected randomly, what we could do is actually create a list of colors that we wanted to do. Local colors is equal to color3.new. So you wanted to start at gold, silver, yellow, red, and finally blue. So you wanted gold first. That looks like a gold. Then we could do color3.new silver. All right. Let's select silver. Again, these are probably very bad colors. I'm not great with modeling, as I've said before. Gold, silver, yellow. That one's easy. There you go. Color3.new. Red, and finally blue. All right. I assume you also want it to loop. If not, it's going to loop because, you know, it's actually... And then we're going to create a little function here just to make it easier. Get color, which basically just returns which color you want. And then we're going to keep track of current color is equal to 1. Local color is equal to colors for the current color. And then we want to return that, but then we also want to increment this. And usually you just do current color plus 1. But since you want it to be always within the range of the colors, you can do this, which basically just modulus here. Let's space this down a little bit so you can see what's going on. Modulus here will basically make it so that it can be at most the number at the second. So if we had like modulus 2, it'd always be 0 or 1. And it'd depend on whether it's even or odd. So if you had 3, it'd go to 1, 4, it'd go to 0, because it's the amount that'd be the remainder after you evenly took out 2 different, or multiples of that amount. So if you had like 7 modulus 3, you'd have 1 3 being taken away, 2 3s being taken away, and left with 1. But anyways, instead of selecting the color from randomly, we'll instead use that simple function, get color, and then it'll select each of these colors in order, and then it'll still do the same tween stuff play. So as you can see, we're going through the colors you want: red, blue, and then it'll swap back to gold, silver, yellow, red. Voila! Also, we still have the day-night cycle, and a ghost chasing us, and a lion. And yes, we're definitely not cheesing the lobby. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Okay, boom, 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 and boom. I have a feeling that's a little bit of lag showing up. All right, add a timer/timer constraint to the parkour. Okay. That's actually an interesting one. So I'm thinking what I want to do here is, all right, for a timer. Okay, so obviously we want this timer to be visible on the player's screen. So what we want to do is actually create a new screen GUI in the player's thing, which basically works similar to how this GUI worked. So we can put elements into it. But yeah, then we can put a text label, and this would just be time. We can position it wherever we want. I think center of the screen like this works best. I normally adjust the size to be relative so that isn't just always going to be the same size. Because right now, if we resize our thing, you can see it kind of just stays the same size, which always looks a little weird. So instead of that, we're going to just go ahead and make it so that's always 0.1 of the screen size. So if we go ahead and scale it down, you'll see it shrinks in size. This isn't ideal. You'd probably want to make it a little bit better. Like, I think even a simple one is just always making it in relation to height. Which is usually what I do. So usually it'd end up looking like this. And then, yeah, and then it comes the script stuff. So I think what you guys are looking at is every time you leave this thing, your time starts at 0, and then once you touch this, your time freezes. I think that's a reasonable way of doing it. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult to code, like, reasonably speaking. But we'll rename this so that we can reference it, and then we'll leave this, or name it to just be base. But yeah, then we'll add a script here. We'll use a local script. I don't know if Roblox is pivoting to this, but you can also use a normal script and then change its run context to be client. Which, you know, does the same thing. It looks the same. I think we'll use that for this just because, you know, that makes sense. Timer. We'll just name it timer. But yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to add sound at this point. I know sound is one of those things that's missing from this stream. I was debating on finding a decent soundtrack to play, but I don't know how music really works during streams, unfortunately. Actually, just a second. Don't autoplay anything, please, YouTube. All right. Ghost Sim original soundtrack, because I know this is... Please don't be too loud. Oh, we have ads. Sorry, this is ads. Alright, how is that volume-wise? Let me check. Alright, that's a little bit loud. I'll turn it down just a smidgen. Okay, you guys all ready for music interrupted by ads every once in a while? Also, after you've done everything, people want to make it so we can play the game. Yes, you guys can play this game. Once we're done with it, I'm going to go ahead and publish it to Roblox, and we can all play the game. Anyways, I wanted to make a timer thing here. For this one, first we're going to create references to everything. Start, or base is equal to game.workspace. What did I call that? Hobby.base local finish is equal to game.workspace.hobby.finish. And then here's one of the things that you can do with being in a local thing. Is you can actually get the local player from the player thing. So we can do players.localPlayer, and this will always be a reference to the player whose script it's running on. This is useful later, but we'll also get the local timer equals script.parent, since this is parented to the time thing. All right, turn the sound down more. Okay, I can see about that. Actually. All right. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Until we get ads that are just like 20 times that volume. Same as stream name. I will see what we name the game. All right, there we go. That's good. All right. And then basically what I want to do is how do I want to do this? Okay, I guess the first thing I want to do is have a time variable. Time taken is equal to 0. And then when the base is touched, so we'll do base dot touched connect function part. If part dot parent is not equal to the player dot character, then return end. So basically, if the thing that touches it isn't this player's character, we don't need to worry about it, since it isn't going to be relative to the player's time. And actually, what we want to do is touch ended here, because we want to do it when the player leaves this part instead of touches it. Anyways, when they stop touching the part, we want to start the timer. So we'll create a local function start timer. There's a few options I run into here, like, okay, actually, I think the best way to do it is having just control variables. Local, all right, we're going to start at finished, and what we're going to do is just turn finished equals false, and then time taken to 0. This will make more sense later. Local function end timer, we'll just say finished is equal to true. And then we're going to start the timer once that happens, and then when we get to the finish, so finish dot touched connect function part. So basically we can copy all of this straight into here, because we want to use that same sort of logic to make sure it's the player who touches it versus some other player or another part. We want to just end the timer. And then we're going to have a core loop here, which is going to just be another while loop. Surprise, surprise. While true do. There's other ways to do this, guys. Don't worry, I'm just being spaghetti because spaghetti is actually funner. Equal time lapsed. Actually, we can do dt equals task dot wait, and then if finished, then continue end. So basically, if we're already finished, we don't want to worry about the timer stuff, but we always want to be looping here. And then
why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager. Mom.
Yep, as I said, we're going to get random ads because I'm doing it on YouTube. I should probably... but anyways, and then we want to do the time taken. We want to increment that by the amount of time since the last wait, plus equals dt. And then finally, we want to set the time to be that. So timer dot, and then here we have that same text property that we used to edit it before, which you can see right here. If we change this to be like high, you'll see it changes to high. We'll text scale this so that it's bigger. But if we change this to like 1.2, you'll see it's 1.2. Timer dot text is equal to the total time taken. And so now if we go ahead and jump into the game, you'll see it's stuck at 1.2 for now because that's what I left it at before. But if we go over here and we touch this, something broke. All right, so output here. Ah, okay, fine. Interesting. Oh, that's right. Okay, so since we're doing some stuff, we have to do wait for childs. I would try to explain this. I can't really. There we go. But basically, since we're doing some shenanigans with the or since we have workspace where it only streams stuff to us, we don't actually have access to everything. Anyways, now you can see the timer is running. It's a bit of a long timer. If we step back on it, you can see it restarts. But yeah, now we can, as we do the obby, we can see the time running up. I should probably sort of, and then once we get up here, you can see it pauses. So voila, we now have a timer. If we start it again, we'll go ahead and see the timer starts again. Pretty nice. We probably want it to be a little bit better here. So instead of being a, we're ignoring this error. I should just swap back, to using a local script. But yeah. What was I going to do? Oh yeah. What we can do is instead here is doing a string.format. Which this is one that I'd have to look up, I think. So we're actually going to take a quick all right, we're going to go take a quick look at documentation for Roblox. Let me pivot, add a new. Yeah, we're just a second. Actually, no, I'm just going to go find it. String format. String.format. Width. Probably 2.2. Probably just 0.2, I guess. 0.2. .2 e percent 0.2 e I think would work. No, F. And then we want to format the time taken. All right. So now when we step on this, we should only see 2 decimal points worth of information. So step on it. And now you can see it's counting up in a reasonably visible sort of way. Again, same logic here. It's just now it's reset. All right. There we go. Timer is a little bit better. Hopefully that doesn't do anything. Okay. Okay, an eye in the sky. So we want a giant eye up here. All right. Sphere. We're going to. I think this is going to be another model. Boom. We're going to go ahead and group that. Eye. Alright, so you wanted the eye to be white eye, purple iris, very transparent green tractor beam. Boop. And then I think you'd like it somewhere. Is that too big? I have a feeling that's a bit too big. Alright, let's go with that one. We're going to turn cast shadow off, because I don't like shadows for stuff this big. And then you want it to be purple iris, so we need a black pupil and then a iris. Duplicate. We're going to move this down very slightly and then scale it a lot. Alright, this is going to be black. Whatever. And then actually that's better. And then this can be scaled down even more. And then this can be the purple iris. Alright, no, this is the pupil. Oh, you wanted the... Chat's a little empty? Yeah, chat gets a little bit empty. I'm not even, like, this is actually doing better than I do in, like, Ghost Sim, so I'm not too concerned. Wait. Okay, I don't know if this is exact color, so, you want the iris to be purple. I think that's the pupil. No, iris is the colored part. Is iris the colored part? Yeah, iris is the pupil. No, the pupil is black. The iris is the thing around it. Yeah, this is why I didn't go to anatomy or anything like that. Because I have no idea what anything's called. Alright, there we go. That looks correct. Black in the middle, purple is outside. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I got there eventually. And then a purple or a green tractor beam. This is actually going to be a little bit difficult. I don't think we have... Yeah, okay, it's going to be a square. This is the best I can do. Okay. Eyeball. Pupil. Alright, it's like maybe we should move this up a little bit so that's more smaller. Alright, I'm not too concerned. I need to do this. Anyways, let's... Actually, we need to anchor all this. Because right now, if we load in, you'll see that it just falls down to the ground, which is not ideal. So this all needs to be anchored. Boom, anchored. And then this will also be anchored. But we'll also turn Ken Clyde off on this. Because this is just going to be huge. Okay, I have an eye on the horizon somewhere. Okay. Alright. Primary part is the eyeball. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And the question is, how do I want to do the tractor beam? Final boss music is very fitting. It is. Final boss music is such a good music thing. Alright, we're going to create I think we're just going to create this into a new folder for the tractor beam because group beam particle anchored can collide off, boom, on, and then transparency Actually, what we want to do here, scale this up. So we want this coming out of the eye. Oh, that's some good music too. Okay. Then I think we want to duplicate, 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 and then rotate. There you go. Then what I want to do is create a union here, I think. So that's all one part. Then we'll change it so that it uses brick color, I believe. How do I do that? I always forget with unions. Yeah, use part color. How they work. Anyways, bright green. We'll change the transparency to like 0.5. And then rotate. Boom. There you go. Scale it out. Boom. We need to turn cast shadow off for this. Where is cast shadow? There it is. The question is this even visible? Not really. You have to be in. If you're inside of it, it doesn't. Also, the eye is gone. Probably because it's too far away. Or is it not anchored? Did I unanchor it? I thought it anchored. Yeah, okay, it's anchored. Oh, it's just because it's so far away that it isn't actually being loaded in because, you know, stuff. Alright, yeah, no, good luck. I think, like, it is only realistically getting worse. Every time we add some stuff. Yeah, oh, okay, there the eye is visible. That's an ad. Anyways, you say reverse the pyramid, so it goes from the pyramid to a point. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think we can we scale this, or does it just scale like that? Which is annoying. This is where I'd like to be able to oh, that's perfect. So I can nice, nice, nice. I like this so much. So should it come from the eye itself, or and spread out, or just one point to the eye? Because I think this is what you'd want it to look like, except for this. I think this should be a little bit shrunk in. There you go. And then this as well. So that only really sees this portion of it. Yeah, and now I think similar to how Ghost Sim does their beams. Their beams are done a different way, which I don't know how to replicate. Oh, you want it to follow the player. Okay, alright, just a second then. Alright, for this I'm gonna have to do some experimenting, because the way Ghost Sim does their beams, is they actually use beams for it. Which we need some parts for. Let me just... No, not you. I want a square part. Boom, boom, boom. Beam. So basically, here you have attachments. Let's add an attachment there. Beam, attachment 1, and attachment 0. So yeah, basically you'd work like this for the things, which isn't actually that difficult. Actually, that might be reasonable to do. I was about to say, like, I don't have... we can just make it look scuffed. So anyways, we're just going to drop this. We're going to move this from our workspace over to our replicated storage, so it isn't here anymore, but if in case we need it later, we have access to it. And then here we will add to the pupil an attachment, and then we'll also add a script. We'll have this one in here, and call this beam connector, I guess. How is our Electron? Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about the Electron. I've probably also forgotten about a few other things people have requested. I've been kind of stuck on a few things. Anyways, for this, we want to give it a beam under it, and then we'll probably just create this to be, we'll change this to be colored green for now, or purple, I guess. Anyways, all right, we're gonna get into a few things. First things first. Let's make it so that every time a player joins the server or the character refreshes, it connects it from their connects something from the eye. So local I is equal to script or to workspace dot or sorry, I should do game dot workspace for consistency. Dot I. And then every time a player joins, local function or character added character, which is a model, we'll just create a new copy of the beam and then attach it to the player. So how you create a copy of something in Roblox is you reference it. So we do script.beam to access the script and then access the parent of it for the beam. And then you do colon clone. And this basically creates a copy of it. Okay, we're now on Ballotro music. I don't think this is something I can use, so we need to go back to shuffle and loop. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't want to start playing other music on this, otherwise we might be in the scuffed territory. As much as I care, as much as I don't actually earn money from monetization on streams, I prefer not having random content going on. Anyways, so we create a new beam here, and then what we want to do is create the new beam dot attachment 0 is equal to the I dot pupil dot attachment, and then the other one we want to be somewhere in the player. So we're going to load into the game, open up our player thing here, and then probably just select somewhere on here to do. And so I think using the humanoid root part, just because this is the main part of a body, and then using the root attachment, so just right here for the end of the beam. Basically, this will just make it so that it's always attached from the eye to this place on our character. So, root attachment. And so what we want to do is new beam dot attachment 1 should be equal to the character dot humanoid root part dot, what was it called? Root attachment? Basically, I'm just logging in right now to make sure I am correct on this. Yeah, root attachment. And so every time a character is added, we want to do that. That's our function. And then basically what we want to do now is listen for when players are added. Local, and for that we need to grab our handy dandy player stuff. Players equal game get service players dot character auto loads, no, player dot player added connect function player dot character added connect function. All right. Basically what we're doing here is every time a player gets added to it, we listen for that, and then when their player is added, we listen for when their character is added and does it. It's a bit of shenanigans, but it should work. We should be able to, once I do this, once I parent this, because if this thing isn't parented, it won't show up. Parent is equal to character. Boom. And now you can see we have a giant beam connecting us from the eye in the sky that right now isn't visible because of our render distance. Yeah, it doesn't do anything, but it's there, watching us. Right now, though, we don't have any of the gravity. I think someone said add gravity. Let me first and foremost go change this to be a text of 0, 0. So that it can stop being annoying to me, and make that background off so I don't need to look at it. There you go. Slightly better. No, you did add that. I just haven't been able to get there yet. And then what we can do here is actually add to the player's character a force, I think. Yeah, whatever. So we'll add a new. So basically what we're going to do here is add a new force that'll constantly be pushing the player towards the eye. So what we want to do is a force, a vector unit acceleration gravity. I don't remember what this was called. Okay, local force equals instance.new force field line force vector force. I'm gonna need to do a little bit of research right now. Okay. I think line force is what I want to do. I don't remember. What other stuff do I have? Constraints aren't what I want to do. Yeah, okay. Line force, I think, is what we want to do. Line force or vector force? Velocity. There's so much. Let's just do a vector force, see how this works. Force dot strength and direction. No, I think vector force is a bit too complicated. Let's do linear line force. Linear velocity. Let's do see what this one looks like. This is a bit more complicated. I don't know exactly how to work with forces. Let me go check to see what developer stuff looks like. Line force. Okay. Okay, so we're going to create a new force here. Force dot attachment 0. We're going to make it that same I attachment. I'm reading the wiki or Roblox's documentation for how to work with this. This seems to be what we want to do. Attachment 1. We're going to make this the character's root thing. We're going to make the force dot max force equal, like, I don't know, let's say character dot weight mass dot mass. Find first child of class humanoid. Dot mass. Dot rig weight. All right, I'm just gonna need to do a quick Google search over here. Figure out how to get the mass of a player's character. So it's because there's character object. All right, whatever. We'll just do a max force is equal to like some 100 or whatever. Force dot parent is equal to character, and I believe this should just work. Okay, it isn't like not working, but I wanted to go check to see if... Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to make this work by just editing it in Studio. Because it is kind of difficult. What happens if I swap these? So instead make this attachment there, and then attachment to my player's root character. Okay, so I found the issue. Okay, so we're now suction beamed really well to the eye. Let's just swap those around in here. I don't think we need to worry about max force. We'll swap these around really quick. So we'll swap this one up here, and then swap this one down here. And then, let's see. And you can see we're very, very, very roughly attracted to it. We'll probably want to make the magnitude just a little bit bigger, just to make this a little bit more noticeable. So I want to do is go edit this a little bit. See if like 2,000. All right, that was 200. 2,000. Yeah, that makes it a lot more noticeable, and so we'll go ahead and set that to there. I think this makes the obby, though, impossible at this point. Actually, no, we do get the extra jump height from being pulled up. But yeah, there we go. We have a beam. We're getting pulled very slightly. It's a little bit scuffed. Come over here, attachment. I want you to be right there in the center of the eye. Keep it low. Force dot magnitude equals, I think 2000. All right. So we want a realistic electron stuff. All right, let's see if we can make electron clouds. You guys know I have no idea how quantum mechanics. I mean, I have a small idea, but yeah. Anyways, such a. Okay. Anyways, I like how we have just these parts floating. I can probably delete them, but I'm not. Let's add a sphere. So I think for this we're just going to stick with a hydrogen. Anyways, all right. So this is going to be a scale model. So anyways, I need to add an electron. I think it's something like over here. I'd have to go look it up, but it's not going to be scale model. I'm joking on that. It's going to be a visible model because scale model, you wouldn't be able to see half the stuff. Toggle stuff on and off so people don't want the eye, lion, or ghost, or do anything. That you can toggle it off. Make default off. Oh, okay. That's actually funny enough. Somewhat doable, except for the fact that everything we have is server side. Having everything is what makes it fun. Yeah, no, that's definitely to be said. Also, I like how we're just having a whole rainbow of errors here. Like one of those errors we can fix. Anyways, we want to group this as a atom. And then this is the nucleus. And then actually, we just copy this for the electron. Or, no, this is not the nucleus. This is the proton. I know how electrons work. Okay, guys, I know this is not to scale, but we need to make it at least visible. And then I'll be right back. I need to go read on the electron, what's it called? Cloud for a hydrogen atom. All right. 120 nanometers in size. Hydrogen is a single negatively charged. Okay, so interesting. I'm not okay, it looks like the most likely place for this to be is like somewhere around here, somewhere around here, or somewhere around here, and then in circles all the way around. You know, if any of you guys are quantum or interested at all in the what's it called, particle physics, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems reasonable. Get one error for every hex color. Unfortunately, there's not that many. I think this is the max. Like, you have worn, you have print, which is gray, and then you have error, which is red. Yeah, I think those are the only colors you can have. We don't actually have any gray yet, but I don't think we can get any other character colors. But anyways, yeah. No, I mean, if you guys are asking me to be realistic, feel free to correct me. Anyways, I think so. Now the question I'm having is, do I want to make this a color? Yeah, whatever. We make it color based. Or no, is do we want to make it math based or part based? I think we have to do it math based. So I think, okay, so right now we're going to chuck a script in here. I think for this we're going to go with we're going to have to go with a normal script. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is have that, I believe the time is it spins around. So we're going to basically just make it so that it starts here and then slowly moves around, selecting a random position inside the cloud that it can access each time. It's just based on this image. Let me see if I can. I'm literally using the wiki for this, so yeah, it's going to be a bit scuffed. Actually, can I share my screen? I don't. Just a second. Screen. Display capture. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me scale this really quick. Drop it here below my face cam. Why are you like that? Okay. And then if I make this, yeah, okay, perfect. Anyways, this is what we're working with right now. This is off of the wiki. You know, if you know understand what any of this is. But yeah, basically we're doing this. So basically, it has this ring around the middle that's kind of smaller, and then two toruses. Are these donuts? No, I think it's called the torus because it's a three-dimensional. Yeah, I'm a nerd. On the top and bottom that it can also be in. Noteworthy though, these are opposite sides. So if it's here, it'll be like in this orange and whatever as it spins around, and it'll just kind of opposite. So yeah, that's what we're working with right now. Why we're doing this? I don't know. Great question. We'll also color coordinate the electron because why not? So I think the first thing to do is just make it spin. I think the best way to do this is we choose an orientation and then we select a C-frame offset from that. And then we can optionally then add a little bit of a ball around that area that randomizes into. But anyways, local offsets is equal to cframe.new. Don't care about angles. This one is just going to be straight on in front of it, so it's just going to be 0. What is it? 0.005 or something? Is 5 a reasonable distance away from this? Yeah, it should be. Both these two need to be anchored. Okay. Anyways, that should be good for the first one. And then local function set position electron is a new function. So time, we also need a local time for a spin. This is not realistic. Again, this is not a force scale. This is just a model. So time per spin, I think realistically we should just have it at 6, just so it you can actually like see stuff going on. I know for an actual electron, this time for spin is around probably less than a millionth of a second, which we do not have the frame rate for in Roblox Studio. But yeah. And then while true, do move electron task dot wait or whatever. Actually, what we can do is move electron in the task dot wait so that it always gets the DT. Okay, and then from this, what we want to do is go last HSV. Last hue is equal to 0. Last hue plus equals DT. And then electron. Yeah, why am I doing this? No one actually. Dot electron. Electron dot color. Local current spin. All right, bye. Current rotation equals 0. Dot color is equal to color3 dot new or from H last hue saturation 1 and then value 1. Let's do 0.78 and then what is this, 0.5 6 7 8. All right, so that should randomize, or that should continually rotate it through its color. So if we go over here, we can see that it's constantly changing between pinks because I forgot to do modulus 1. Let's do modulus 1. Basically just to clamp it between 0 and 1 so it's always a good color. Make an electron just random move fast across the map. Yeah, whatever. We're now doing it. Anyways. Current rotation plus equals math.pi times 2. This is an entire rotation. Divided by time for spin multiplied by dt. Okay. And then we take the orientation, multiply it by the rotation, and then apply the offset, I believe. Offset is equal to offsets math.random 1 to hashtag offsets. Electron dot cframe is equal to script dot parent dot proton dot cframe times cframe dot angles 0 current rotation 0 times offsets. Okay, I believe this should make it rotate around it. Either that or we got some errors. Nope, it's working. And look at that! We now have a working electron model. It's rotating color a bit quickly. That should be definitely divided by... Okay, wow, that is... Yeah. All right. Electron spin. Anyways, we'll do plus equals dt over time for spin. We will make this so that's out like a bit more, like 9. And then we'll add a few more. cframe.new 0. We'll move this one up like 5, -5, and then another one that goes down 5. Okay, this one, I do apologize. This one's going to be a bit more chaotic because now it's going to select a random position in any of those clouds. And then we'll also over here add a plus. Let's add a RNG, local RNG, because equals random.new. G, next unit vector. So yeah, this will now put it somewhere random. Okay, and then for good measure, next number. Technically that should be next number, square root, or whatever. Anyways, this I think is an accurate, not to scale, but this is what an electron looks like. This is so silly. I think this is actually like somewhat legitimately accurate as well. I think in theory this is a bit chaotic. Oh, no, this is perfect. This is actually how electrons, I think, should work. Anyways, there's your electron thrown around your proton. And yes, we still have a lion that kills us when we touch it. We haven't broke that yet. Okay. Make the ghost killable after this. Like, just like a few clicks and it TPs back to spawn. It's so annoying. Okay. Ghost killable. We can do that. Ghost chase. Local spawn is equal to spawn position is equal to ghost get pivot. Alright, so to do that, we need to add a click detector to the ghost. There's 2 ways we can do this. The easiest, since we are just working on the ghost, is just add a click detector to it. But you could do this in the script by just like cloning a new one or whatever. And then so every time this click detector is clicked, so we can do ghost.clickDetector.mouseClick connect function. This returns the player who clicked it, but we don't really care. And then local click count is equal to 0. So what we want to do is click count plus equals 1. All right, and then local to kill is equal to, how many clicks would you say? 5? 5 sounds reasonable. If click count is greater than or equal to kill, then click count is equal to 0. Reset it, and then move the ghost back to its spawn position. Boom, perfect. Good addition. So now we can click this ghost, and if we click it enough, it'll return back to spawn. They're a completely original idea. Make it drop ectoplasm, then you can go to a shop and sell it for ecto tokens. Ah, okay. I see where this one's going. Okay. All right. So what we're going to go ahead and do is add a new ooh, this one's interesting. Add class, dealer choice. Ah, lovely. Yeah, This is where we start getting into currency stuff. I don't know if you want your ecto tokens to save. I'm just going to go with the not saving for now. But that's something we can change later. So anyways, Ghost Chase, click detector. And then we want to award the player some currency. So every time this happens, we award the player some currency. Probably the best way to do this would be just, using... just straight up using my save data stuff. So for here, we can actually access a module. Local data module equals game.server-script-storage.save-data.data module. And then this is the reference to the module. Then we need to require it to actually access the code inside of it. So here we go. Boom. So this is the data module now. And then every time we do this, we want to data module dot player data for this player dot, and then here we're going to go ahead and add just a little stat of let's just call it ecto equals 0. And so every time now that the ecto plus equals 1, and then we need to let the player know because they don't actually have access to this stuff. So what we're going to go ahead and do is move the Ghost Chase into replicated storage, and then add a remote event here dot ecto changed, so the client can actually connect. This is horrible programming, by the way. This is not how GhostSim does it. But fire client for the player and give it its ecto count. And this should actually save if we weren't getting this data store access error. Which we can actually fix really easily, but I'm not going to yet. And then what we want to do is actually over here on the UI, create a new one, call this ecto. We're going to chuck this over here, let's say. That looks good. Ecto updater. Woohoo. Ecto updater is cooler. And then what we want to do here is local replicated storage equals game get service replicated storage. Ecto changed is equal to replicated storage dot ghost chase dot ecto changed. We may eventually end up optimizing or making this a little bit cleaner, but for now this works. This is how coding becomes a mess, guys, by the way. You start by adding random stuff, and then you decide to do it the easy way first, and then all of a sudden you have 5 things built around it, and now you're listening to 27 different acto-changed things. But for now, all that aside, we should be fine. Ecto-change.onClientEvent connect function new ecto script dot parent dot text is equal to new ecto. And so now every time we kill that, we should just be getting another ecto, I think. This is okay, something broke. I think it's because we're trying to use a module. just a second. I'm gonna need to go change my studio settings. Actually, can I? Just a second. That doesn't sound like Ghost music. That was apparently we got into Terraria stuff. I like how I need to like constantly. I like how I need to like constantly make sure. Ah! My studio's gone. Properties. Alright, there we go. We're back. File, game settings, permissions, security, enable to API save. Alright, now we shouldn't crash when we join. Warning, nil, save data. That's not great. So right now we're running into this issue where our ghost chase is not having a fun time. I believe it's because this data module isn't loading. So this is warning message nil. If not success, then warn message. Cast.wait 5. Why am I running into an issue here? All right, we're now debugging why my data safe stuff isn't working. Because it's nil. Okay, lovely. Oh, is it because this isn't a string? No. Okay. Oh, because we're not because this isn't a P call. Okay, for anyone wondering, this is why I'm considered a spaghetti programmer. There we go. Return. Because I am not doing pcalls here. I should be doing pcalls, functions, end. And then returning. There we go. Now, the ghost still isn't working, which is hilarious, but whatever. The click detector's there. All right, now I need to go figure out why this isn't working. Because it's working without this, correct? No, I broke the ghost. Out of one-shot Ghost Game Pass for 2,500 Robux. Do you have to go monetize an experience in order to get people to give you Robux? We aren't going to do monetization on this. Game Passing stuff's a little bit more complicated, but making a sign say this game is made by people's ideas or something like that. Yeah, no, that's probably going to be added at some point. All right. Looks like music is vibing again. Let's see. At a VIP area. I want to play the game now. Right now I need to figure out how to get this ghost back to working, because right now it's not. Is it because it's in replicated storage? Did I accidentally disable this? Oh. Do you have to be... Oh, it might have to be in server script storage to actually work. Okay, just a second. We're going to have to refire things. So game.replicatedStorage.ecto changed fire. And then ecto updater, instead of that, we do just that. Okay. Yes, okay, Ghost is now moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see that gets updated to 1. If we do it again, we get 2, 3. And then ideally, well, there's a bit of a consistency thing because, yeah, see, data saves. Because I don't have it automatically update once your player gets loaded, which is definitely confusing. I think I can just have it run. Yeah, whatever. Ghost Sim video win? I don't know. I've been lazy on Ghost Sim videos. It's one of those things that gets a little bit boring. Anyways, lovely. Yeah, one of the issues I'm running into right now is this is currently horrible for any sort of like data replicancy. Like when the pair first loads, they need to actually have that event fire to change their ecto, which is why you don't do it this way. But I'm trying to think of a better way to do it at the moment, and I think we're just going to ignore it for the time being. We can fix it later. We won't fix it later. Anyways, we need a sign that says this game was other people's idea, so let's do that really quick. We're going to go ahead and just straight up copy this part, drag it out into the workspace. Sign, we're going to move it away and rotate, whoop, scale, whoop, whoop. Actually, let's rotate it there. Then we'll make this sign be a more brick. Brick is horrible. Yeah, much better. This game was made through the random ideas of people. I don't think I can reference contributors include Dead Bull 5K. Let's see who else has contributed. Kobe, I have no idea what your guys' Roblox stuff is. I'm going through, let's see, who else contributed? I'm going through the chat, guys. If you guys think you contributed, York, did you help? Oh, I haven't done the 5x5 cube. I did do a cube, but you contributed. York. I'm not worried too much. Let's see. Did Mystic? You didn't. All right. There we go. All coded / built by highest. All right, there we go. Actually, I think we want to make the sign better. Let me go turn it into bold. Let's make this text color white and add a UI stroke with like a thickness of like 4. Boom. And then I think make it just a little bit less wide so that, and then center it up. All right, I'll add Mystic U2 to it. And Mystic Blaze. All right, there we go. There we go. There's a sign. Is this anchored? Minecraft video win? I don't know. Ghost Sim video win. Don't know again. Maybe Ghost Sim vid. I might do one for next update. We'll see. Minecraft, a lot of it depends on what I feel like. Honestly, Minecraft's one of those weird ones where I don't know what to do. There was someone else at the start of the stream. Yeah, Canada was here at the beginning. I don't know if he contributed. There's also Boris Van Dongen. Again, I don't know if they contributed any ideas yet. Oh, you made the majestic line? Okay, yeah, no, that is definitely half of the gameplay in this game. Oh, this is such a, yeah, no, that's a good one. Anyways, I think the one thing I want to do really quick, make that face the camera. And then curve it just a little bit. Boop, boop. Actually, yeah, let's see how that looks. Yeah, a little bit bigger. I'm going to send this off to Wars once you release it. Yeah, this is such a scuffed game. Actually, I do wonder how it'll play with multipliers. Who wants to actually test this thing out in multiplayer? Because, you know, it's definitely I think it's functional in multiple players. All right. All right, we're going to call this good for now. I'm going to go ahead and save to file. No, I don't want to save to file. Don't ignore that. Anyways, test, need link. I will publish to Roblox, and then I think I need to go make the game settings, permissions, public. Save. I think that will do it. Let me go see if I can find it on Roblox really quick. Roblox. Me. Creations. No. Oh, yes, it is there. It's there. All right. How much is the max player server size? Server size is 50. Perfect. All right, let's see. Some link. All right, let's see. I'm going to close this really quick. Studio closed, Roblox open. I have so many windows open. I have an Electron cloud. Okay, this is so scuffed. Okay, let's open Roblox. Boom. Me. Home. Can I go to my profile? I can't go to my profile in here. Profile. View for full profile. Unrated? Oh, come on. Do I really need to go do my rating stuff? It's scuffed. Okay, just a second. Just a second, guys. Let me go rate it really quickly. Okay, creations, my experience. Access settings, public, free to play. Maturity and compliance. All right, start. All right, does this experience contain violence and or violent content? No. No, there's not really any violence. It excludes Roblox default character reset / death mechanics, so we're good. There's no blood in it. Scary elements. I think it's safe to say there's no scary elements. Depict, reference, or encourage crude humor. No. Any unplayable gambling content. Nope, no gambling. Primary theme or activity, a social hangout. No, it's supposed to be a game. Freeform user creation. Nope. Does this experience contain paid random items? No, it doesn't have any paid items whatsoever. No, does not have items trading. All right. Whether or not that means the game is playable, I have no idea, but let's go ahead and join. Is there anyone in game? Oh, looks like Deadbolt's here. All right. Hopefully you guys are able to join. Looks like Deadbolt got teleported. I think he was riding the ghost, but yeah, there you go. See, ghost changed to chasing him. Hello, Mystical Matthew. All right. Yeah, there's not much to do. Oh no. Deadbolt died to the lion. Yeah, watch out for the lion. It does like instantly kill you. But yeah, this is the game. We spent about 3 hours, 2.5 hours to create this game. It has everything you'd want in a game. It has an enemy. It has you know, a ghost that you can get currency from. We have Blip the fish, which is there's the ghost. Okay, I need to get it away from me. We have an electron over here going around a proton, which is 100% to scale and model exactly like it. I apparently forgot to anchor this, so that means this isn't anchored either, which means that we can go ahead and go push it off. We have an obby that you can do, which is obviously a mainstay of any Roblox game. I think if we got enough people, we could push this thing over. I think I'm seeing it budge. Yeah, it is actually moving. Yeah, the obby is probably a bit too easy, especially now that you have lower gravity. Looks like someone already pushed it off. Well, that is until you get completely destroyed by the lion, at least. Hello! Hello! Right now we're testing out the game. It has 0 issues whatsoever. There is absolutely no bugs in it. I believe actually if we open up here, somehow there is no warnings or whatever. But yeah. The sign with the fish fell over. Which is kind of funny. Oh, also, because that resets on death, we actually lose our currency every time we die. Yeah. Yeah, not too much going on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but not too much of it's coherent. I wonder what the best time we can get on the obby is. Yes, this is 100% what Ghost Sim 2 is going to look like. You have the notable ghost with very high quality, the giant eyeball watching you at all times and trying to pull you off of the obby stuff. You have a lion that obviously is so, this is inherently the most, important part. Looks like people are actually grinding the ghost. And yeah, Blip the Fish, which, has sadly lost his name tag. You're at 50 currency? Nice. Yeah, I'm at 10, soon to be 0 because I died. Guys, this isn't Ghost Sim 2. Oh, it looks like someone managed to knock over the sign. I don't know if they used the ghost for it, but yeah. And then we also have the day-night cycle, the base plate that changes colors, and of course you can't forget the wonderful custom-made scenery that is super useful for the game itself. Wait, who's all the way over there? Oh, that's Stedville. I was about to say, I'm like, how did you manage to get all the way over there? Oh, you, someone perished. Boop. There you go. And all of this, and we still have data saving, where all of your stuff saves. It just won't look like it because every time you join, you have to click the ghost again for it to update. But yeah, I don't know. What would you guys rate this game? Scale 1 to 10, with 10 being like the best game ever, 1 being absolute trash, because it's probably seriously around a 3 to 4. But the fact that you guys made it probably helps a little bit. Yeah. I apologize for the ghost movement mechanics. I realize this is literally not how you want to do the ghost. Better than GS, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Yeah. I am low-key proud of how, like, half of the models on this turned out, because so much, like you know, they don't look the greatest, obviously, but, like, you can recognize everything here. Mostly. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today's stream. I know, what was it, like 3-hour stream? No, maybe not the most, oh, we still have a obby timer. I wonder if we can go ahead and, get, like, a long completion. There we go. We got a 95-second obby completion. Okay, and yeah, I think that'll be it for this game. Will be up. Maybe we'll come back and do another stream like this because I know this ended up being pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed it. I know sometimes I go a little bit rambling on the coding portion of it, but it is what it is. It will be up in public. Again, if you guys want to see more streams like this, let me know in the comments, description, whatever. Yeah. Spam message me in Discord. Don't spam message me, but if you guys like ideas, you guys can always send suggestions in Discord to me. But yeah, no, it turned out interesting. Definitely a lot more chaotic than I was expecting. I was kind of looking to see if it would be more of a coherent game design with like actual data saving stuff, but this actually turned out pretty nice. There's so much random stuff going on that's actually kind of fun. Rest in peace, Deadpool. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the stream, and I think I'll end it here. Yeah, bye.